Alrighty. So we're going to be starting off with our first critique. We're going to be starting off with Bucks, and he does have two sets. We're going to specifically look at his Bowser set first. So for those of you guys that know, Bowser is by and large one of the easiest characters for Duck Hunt to fight. Um, it's legitimately hard for Bowser to get anything started this matchup. Like the Duck Hunt player has to have no idea what they're doing, or they have to physically mess up for Bowser to get like any sort of advantage. And like once you realize what you just need to wait for in order to punish, it's really dumb how easy this matchup becomes. So I did watch this set. Let me change the audio real quick because we want to hear. I did watch this set before, and made me very sad. Basically, it came down to you just not like really understanding on what to punish against him. Also, let me know if the audio is good. I always got to know that. Basically, it came down to you not like understanding. Like you knew how to punish, and you at least knew how to do your clay pigeon combos. But like even then, those were a little rough in certain areas. And then it's just like you went for just so many hard reads you don't need to do. Like you can play safe and basically get the equivalent of F smashing him, with just how easy it is to punish this character. Because there's not much you can do. What's up, Plague? Yeah, so like game one, you did relatively okay. The bigger thing is just being a lot safer with your projectile pulls, staying back. The other thing too is like this Bowser surprisingly did not up B out of shield a lot, and there's so many moments where he could have caught you with that, or have just like gotten a good read to like punish you. Your one huge issue that you're gonna see fairly consistently is you never punish down air. Like well, you do, but you're not like consistently looking out for it. I don't think it's as much of an issue here. Like there, you punished it very finely, and then like you should have done so much more. Like you could have at that percentage, you could do two clay pigeons to an up air, and he would have died. There, you just messed up your buffer. Like there, that was very unnecessary to do an F smash, but he actually could have killed you there. But this Bowser player was very bad, so he didn't do that. Yeah, so like here, you're playing safe, just keeping your distance. You see, like there, you could have just ran up and up smashed him. Like up air, to give you an idea of how laggy down air is. Oh, we have more videos. Okay, I will. Okay, Plague, I have your VODs. Let me just get you a real quick number on Bowser's down air, because like that thing should just be a free auto punish every single time you see it. And like the thing was, this Bowser never mixed it up. Like if anything, he was down airing more as the set was going on. So if he down airs on your shield, that's negative 31. Like you could literally drop shield, charge a smash attack, and still hit him. And if it's just the landing lag, that's 35 frames. So if you avoid it, you have more than enough time to do whatever you want to it. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. But like, it's just like God. There's just so much you can do in neutral too. The other thing too, I need to point out is specifically with your disadvantage, you have one very very bad habit. When you up B, you like to do up air a lot when you should be doing nair. Up air is for a very specific use on when you just need to land right on top of the stage, but you don't want to use up air if you're like high up, and I'll kind of explain why when we get to it. And if I don't remember if you do that in this game or if I have to wait for the second one. But you see, like that's kind of the reason why you really don't need to worry about actually reading with a smash attack. It's just because like clay pigeon carries so hard. Like you can even do that, and there's nothing Bowser can do against. Like Bowser literally can't approach you if you clay pigeon his shield like that. Yeah, like there you just weren't watching it. So okay, let me explain why that's in it. I hate that. Then reveal, so you can't hit stop. Okay, I think we're right around here. Yeah, right here. Okay, so this is the reason why you don't do this one. Yeah, pretty much. um, yeah, so when you up air that tall, that high up, you are going to be locked into up B special lag. Unfortunately, I can't remember what the exact number is. I don't think. So when you do up B and you go into the special landing lag, you have 30 frames of landing lag. So basically, just as punishable as Bowser down air. Um, and when you do up air, the move itself only lasts for 39 frames, versus if you do something like Nair, that lasts for 55. So when you do something like Nair and you fast fall it down, not only from that height would you auto cancel it, because it auto cancels from 44 and onward, but you'll land with a lot less lag in general, which would be 10 frames versus 30. So you shave off 20 there. And then when he lands too, he also does like a pancake animation, so he can actually low profile a bunch of moves. I don't think he can low profile anything on Bowser except maybe side B. But like against a bunch of other characters, that is something that you need to use. So what you're going to see here is that he went into the special landing lag right around here, and then he landed with that, and now Bowser's able to get his punish on you. So if you were doing a different thing, you could probably have jabbed him or spot dodged. Yeah, see, like this game, you did a really good job of punishing down air. Like, you just waited for it, and it worked out fine. The can, I think, saved him there. Most of the time, around that percent at the ledge, F smash will kill him. You missed your back air. Yeah, like, honestly, there's just no reason for you to be above Bowser. Like, Bowser's really good at juggling and anti-airing, so just stay below him. Like, just stay to the side. Like there, you could have up smashed him just because he directional air dodge, but you know, he didn't air dodge there, so you were able to get that. Now the next games are the ones where it gets really concerning. Like I legit get concerned for you with the way that you play some of these. So it's like, this isn't a bad stage choice. Like, you basically get FD number 2. And, like, at that point, like, there's no reason for you to roll into him. Just, like, stay away from him. Like, the F smash there, like, made no sense. But I could see that at least being a Wi-Fi error. So that can is on him. So, yeah, you could just detonate that at any time. And, like, again there, like, that F smash wouldn't have killed. You put yourself in a high-risk situation. But, like, he just decided to fire breath there. And basically, if you played this game and only decided to punish his down airs, you would have killed him off of, like, 3 exchanges. And that's one thing that you do not do in this game. Like, you do not think about punishing down air at all. Like, you want to just, like, go up there and challenge it every time. That's actually one thing to point out, is the horizontal blast zones on this stage are actually fairly close as well. So, F smash is very good for taking him out on this stage. Also, he tries platform camping you, and he can't do that. And I don't know how you actually let him get away with that. The other thing, too, is remember, use your directional air dodges and air dodges in general to get around these situations. Just because, like, locking yourself to an attack just means you're going to get damaged no matter what. And he's going to be trading much better against you. Like there, you weren't watching him, so you decided to spam there. Because, like, you have enough time to get out of his threat zone in the air and then just, like, keep yourself safe. Yeah, like there, he could have done a much bigger punish. Like, he could have Bowser bombed you. And, like, there, he did his down air, but you weren't ready to punish that. That's the other thing, too. Like, for some odd reason, you just keep wanting to run into Bowser, which is, like, the absolute worst place to be. But luckily for you, like, his boxing game's just kind of atrocious, so he's not really doing much to you. And then there, that's the issue you just ran into. Because you decided to up air there, you died. So So now you see you got into special landing lag there, and he has so much time that he can literally turn around and F smash you. It kind of is. But yeah, no, you just don't do that. Like make sure you're landing with Nair. Or canceling with Nair. And the other thing too is like with Nair, if they decide to challenge you and your Nair touches them first, then that hitbox will beat it out. That's the other thing I forgot to mention is that you can clay pigeon through Fire Breath too. Like just do like a little short hop and then do it. So that way it only takes like one of the hits. Yeah, like that was a pretty good exchange there, but like you just weren't ready for it. And then you weren't ready for your gunman that was gonna hit him. And like for him, like why are you air dodging into him? Just like watch where he is, watch where your can's covering, and just make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. Yeah, like that one I won't really be too angry about. But if he charged F smash there, you actually would have had just every option covered. But I don't think F smash would have killed even if you full charged it. See, like there, you could have just waited for down air again. Like that one, you just messed up your up air timing. That's the thing, like, as long as you're watching him and what he's doing, like, you just have, like, way more openings that you could just get on him, too. Yeah, use Nair. Yeah, like, with this matchup, you should just kind of sit back and do can and then just, like, kind of throw out your gunmans to just force him to approach because it's just a hitbox he has to deal with and he really doesn't have much leeway. And whenever Bowser attacks a gunman, it puts him in extra hit lag too. So, you know, just staying back and then just looking for those laggy options for him landing. Yeah, not pretty much what Plague's saying. Just, you know, make sure the projectiles have a purpose and then like you just decide to go in when it makes absolutely zero sense for you to go in. Like there is no way that Bowser can benefit you from being away from him. Like he doesn't have a projectile. He can't really mess with your projectiles that well, especially if he's sitting on the platform. On the platform, like he's so vulnerable. Like you can just pelt him with cans from the bottom and then just like full hop gunman and the gunman will shoot him. Yeah. Like this matchup, you can throw out projectiles. It's just when he's close to you, that's when you stop. As long as he's like, full screen away, or especially if he's in the air, then you're free to just kind of like toss them out. But clay pigeon, you just kind of keep that like the second you see him land with something laggy. Like down air's the easiest one to get. Let's bring up the Bowser chart again. Down air's the easiest one. Side B as well. Side B, like he just cannot side B you. Back air is 24 lanes of landing lag. Forward air and neutral air is the easier one to do just because the multi hits are weak. So clay pigeon generally just goes through that. F smash F air, there's not too much you can do. It's just if he breaks it, he gets hit. And then up air is just like never gonna hit you, so you probably don't have to worry about that one. But yeah, no, if he's coming with like a back air or an air or a down air, those are just prime suspects to get clay pigeoned. And then down air specifically, you look to up smash that because that one's very easy to get. Yeah, like there, honestly, Bowser's fast enough that you can only get one projectile out. So you just need to be careful of that. And then like at this point, I wouldn't even like bother going near him. Cause like I just don't understand what paths you're trying to do. Like that one fair that you did, right? So, okay, so like look where Bowser is and like look at the actions you decide to do right here. You just decided to full hop fair over a Bowser that's doing Fire Breath. And I just can't find any logic in that movement. Something that you could do is like you could have like helped reset your can or something, but like just putting yourself in a position to get juggled by Bowser is like the absolute worst place you could be at any given moment in time. Like the only thing I can like stretch it out is like, okay, maybe you thought he was gonna run back and jump, but I don't know why he would do that. Like I don't know why he would jump towards can. It's just like this movement makes no sense. Yeah, but you're not even pushing him. You're pushing the air right above him where like, hey, that's kind of a free upper. That's like a free nair to just basically instantaneously kill you if it was a good Bowser. Like that was something he did not uppy a lot when you were doing so much unsafe stuff on a shield. Yeah, like if he messes that up, just you can just throw him right back in the loops. There's really nothing Bowser can do against that. But yeah, again, like, you know, I understand the logic behind that little F smash setup, but like, you really don't need to risk yourself like that. Because I think the direction and placement you're at, that F smash wouldn't even killed. Yeah, like there you could have up smashed him. But that wouldn't have killed at that percent. Bowser's big. Yeah, and it's like still you're trying to run into Bowser. You're not just trying to kind of find openings to punish him. Like you're always waiting till after his attacks are done. And then also, wait, let me point out that little thing there real quick. Like obviously you're not watching him, but like to avoid Bowser's down air, you do have to be like about center or a little bit further because like he's able to kind of maneuver his way like right underneath here just because of the way the collision works. Yeah. And like there, you didn't even bother to like throw out a can to like help start edge guarding him or something like that. Because like even if you dropped a gunman down, his up B like adds so much extra hit lag to it that it makes it super easy to edge guard too. Like let me show you. Yeah, so this is what aerial whirling fortress looks like. So it's actually pretty easy to hit, especially like if his head comes up there. So it's like certain points, his hurt box actually does stick above his hitbox, so you can actually trade with it if you really want to. Not always the easiest thing to do with Duck Hunt's down air in particular, but nothing you need to be particularly scared of. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to describe it. It's like you're burning the bridge, and running across it towards the thing that can kill you at the same time. That's probably the best way to put it. Like there, like if this Bowser just played patient, there's just so many openings that he would have gotten on you. Yeah, so if you don't jump with the clay pigeon, then you can get the moments where it'll just burst. And you also do have to like watch where you're throwing out the can. Like in this instance right here. So he's done a lot of down airs from this position, and that would have just hit you and the can at the same time. And there's a chance it would hit you and the can the same direction. The can will blow you up. So you have to like think a lot about your positioning afterwards. Like after those up airs, just wait for his options. In that case, when he did the air dodge, then you could have just like, then you could have done the can, or you could have just hit him with an aerial. If he did the down air, then you just have to be ready to shield it and punish it. But just like throwing out the can right here is a very, very vulnerable position for yourself. And there, okay, so That's a very good example of what extra hit lag can do. So if he did not hit your can, you would have gotten duffed pretty badly. So like because he added that extra hit lag there, you had enough time to dash back and then like throw out a clay pigeon. So like that's why like having the aerial gunmen or like the cans for them to hit and specifically planning to punish around that is super super valuable, especially for people that land with high amounts of lag. Yeah, also out of clay pigeon loops, a lot of people do like to air dodge out of them, so you can generally like charge a smash attack if you want. Like see, weren't watching that again. So like there would have been a pretty good moment to throw out a gunman, so that way it would have covered the ground there. So let's just talk about that real quick. Talk about good gunman usage. So like there, like at once it disappeared like a jump in gunman. So then that way it's like you have the air already covered by the can, you have gunman covering the ground, and then if he somehow maneuvers his way between that, it's like he's either going to ledge or he found a way to sandwich himself between here and the gunman and the can, and then that's where you would cover. And like there again, you just decided to land right on top of him too. Like it's so scary watching you play because there's so many times you should just be dead. Like there again, you decided to go right into him, but he did nothing to punish you. Again, the F smash did nothing. So like there, you could have just like grabbed him and then like thrown him off stage, and that would set up the kill. So it's like now that you've drained his shield enough, now you could F smash his shield because that'll shield poke. But other than that, you don't do that. The other thing too is like just don't get antsy when he has a new stock. Like while Bowser is a grappler, he's not gonna really kill you off a throw at 100%. So you're in full control at that point. See, like this is good evasiveness right now. Except for that. That was very bad. But like right now, except that was not good either. Don't know why you direction air dodge that. But like just like kind of jumping around him and making him come to you, and then when you get those hits, you throw your projectiles out. Like that's what you want to do with the matchup. See, like that was a pretty good setup there. You're just a little bit slow. And see, like there, a nair. If you did a nair there. So I don't know if I can go frame by frame in this video player. So if you did a nair there, you would have actually touched him. So then that way he would have gotten hit and he wouldn't have been able to get that grab on you. Like that's the reason why you want a nair. Yeah, and there you go. You cleaned it up. Yeah. Yeah, no, that is true. Like you have to have a better timer on all your projectiles, like knowing when you can summon the gunman. Clay pigeon can kind of go hand in hand, but you don't try to reset your can. In a lot of instances, you're just kind of running to a can when the Bowser is right next to it. So like just knowing how to like actively reset it and everything is super super important. Yeah, but you don't want that against Bowser. Like this matchup is that Bowser loses 95% of the entire game, and he's going to win because he wins 5% of it. Yeah, this is not that character. This character, you just oppress, and he dies because you oppress him nonstop. And if you just give him, like, any opening, he should kill you immediately. And the fact that this Bowser didn't do it, just, like, he's not good. That's kind of the easiest way to put it. Like, there's so many different types of punishes and situations he could have set up, but he just didn't because, like, either he didn't know how to just, like, hit you when you were right next to him, or he didn't know what his punish windows were, but... You know, he just didn't up B out of shield enough, too, when you're right next to him. Like, just to get the easiest bare bones punish on you. So, yeah, it's just, like, against, like, all the heavyweights, like DK, Bowser, K. Rool, all of them. Like, you really need to focus on playing safe in those matchups and just, like, you know, sitting back, letting your projectiles do the work. And then when you see those, like, big, hard openings, like, Bowser's the easiest one because of, like, down air, especially if they're consistently down air because they feel like that's like their one landing tool. You're able to get so many early stocks off of that, but like you just didn't abuse that at all. For the most part, your clay pigeon combos are good. You gotta tighten up on those a lot, but you know, you need to work around gunman better. You have to just not rush in and use F smash. Like that's the absolute worst thing you can do against a Bowser. Let me see. Yeah, I mean Bowser's got a lot of pretty good sequences where he should kill you at like 10%. Get back to Duck Hunt real quick. Duck Hunt, because like to give you an idea of like how unsafe F Smash is -30 on shield. So that is the easiest thing in the world to punish. Yeah, you definitely could. Like you could easily chain like 6 clay pigeons together against any heavyweight out there. It's not a problem. So yeah, no, like you need to be super careful with F smash. Like the only good F smash I liked was like off the clay pigeons, and when you damage his shield enough to shield poke, because like the heavyweights are the ones you can do that against. Other characters, not so much. But okay, let's look at your Pac-Man game, because like that one just boils down to like you play way too unsafe, sit back, let your projectiles do the work, and know the punishes you can get off of that. So let's get your Pac-Man game. Oh, and we should put on some music because this is going to be a mute stream. I have no idea what music he plays. Go 30 minutes mappy. It's good. Make sure the audio levels are good. Actually, okay, so precursor for this matchup. This is a really, really weird matchup. It honestly takes a pretty long time to understand how the projectile interactions work. The main things that you're going to see is that Hydrant's going to interfere with it with like a lot of different things, but for different reasons. And the thing to remember is hitting the Hydrant is like almost not going to be the answer. You just have to know like when to use Hydrant against them and when they're looking for you to hit the Hydrant to use it against you. But with Duck Hunt, since you have the cannon gunman, there's a lot of like really unique setups you can do to at least set it off against him. So watch how he's hitting it and seeing if you can use one of your projectiles against that for him. The other thing, too, is Duck Hunt has the easiest time edgeguarding Pac-Man. Like, you can just send out a can to hit the power pellet, and then he's forced to trampoline. And then, depending on what his distance is, you can easily set up the red trampoline. Like, we can actually pretty consistently edgeguard Pac-Man if he's far enough away. So, that's something to keep in mind. That's something just you learn more as you play against him. Yeah, overall, also has, like, a lot of really good combos, so you need to know... You need to be very careful about how you save your jump, because you can take that away and then just kind of leave that to a lot of really nasty situations. And then kill-wise, the main thing you're looking out for is either Key or Bell. I think for Duck Hunt more specifically, you're looking out for Key, because like with Key, like if you're so focused on doing your projectiles like Gunman, Clay Pigeon, or Can, he's just gonna chuck that at you, and it's just gonna rip right through everything and kill you. So you have to treat it like Thoron. Like if he has Key charged up, you always need to be looking out for it. And then if if he has Bell, you need to watch your jumps because you will be jumping and pulling projectiles a watch, and you have to be super careful about how you do that against Pac-Man. So that's what it comes down to. But let's see what you do. Wait, what the hell? That was an awkward transition. Yeah, see, like, okay, it's like, this is a very bad instance of I am not resetting my can. All you gotta do is press the B button once, and then you would have had your can, like, infinitely earlier than what you did there. About the pellet? Yeah, no, that's something. Yeah, okay, so, oh, that's good to know. So, definitely don't go F-smashing the... Don't go F-smashing the hydrant, please. But however, you did to do something very useful that I didn't realize. So let me see if I can get 59 on the dot. Okay. Or did I go too far back? Or too far forward? I have a feeling I went forward. Hold up. Okay, yeah, right about here. So if I saw this correctly... Cool. So we can low profile key. So... If you use down tilt or like that one animation of F smash, you can low profile the key. So down tilt's not going to be a bad move to hit the hydrant with, but please do not F smash the hydrant like that. Your ass is going to get duffed. Yeah, like there, you definitely don't want to be throwing out gunmen like that. I'm going to assume that's more of a misinput than anything. Also, like, don't focus on going these hard read edge guards, because, like, it's not going to really work out for you more often than the other ones. Like, you should really only use, like, hard read ledge guards as a last resort, because, like, what you want to do, especially at this percentage, is you just want to build up damage. Like there, don't do the cans. Watch your opponent. That is something to remember. As long as the bell is falling, like he did it from like a Z drop or something like that, it actually will still stun you. So you got to be very careful about that. Yeah, that's what I mean. You got to be careful about how you jump and pull your projectiles. You have to remember his grab is good in this game, so you have to be very careful with how you deal with that. Oh, other thing too is he can throw the bell through the stage, but he didn't do that there. Like when he's got the bell, you play scared. You don't try to challenge that, especially at death percent. Not death percent, then it's fine. Yeah, actually, if you connected that downer, you probably would have died. So it's like, what he could have done there is he could have actually like jump and fared in between that F smash and actually like hit the hydrant against you. Like you do not want to use like your smash attacks against that hydrant at all. Yeah, that's the other thing too. So he actually got both options covered there. One thing you can do is you can drop down an up air to pick up the bell. So then you could have actually tossed it and hit him. So you have to remember, as long as the bell's moving, it can stun you. The other thing too is you're not trying to create any sense of distance between you two at all. You're always just trying to opt to run in instead of just like actually get any setups going. And, like while frame data wise we're kind of similar to Pac-Man, it's just like he's slightly better at boxing than us. Don't smash attack on top of the hydrant too. They're gonna fall out of that like every time. So yeah, like that entire time you could not standard get up, otherwise you would get stunned. Yeah, you're also not like you're really not paying attention to what Hydra can do as well. And that like that right there, this kind of like exemplifies your gameplay. Hold up. Let's go to 402.15 maybe. Okay, that should be good. All right. So let's point out like everything wrong with this one clip right here. Yeah, like this whole sequence is bad, but honestly, if you don't know the Pac-Man matchup, I won't really blame you for that. Okay, right here. So you are full screen, you have nothing out, and you decide to run up and fair him instead of giving yourself like any meaningful neutral advantage at all. Like what you want to do here is like you at least want to like short hop can or something. Like give yourself like some sense of extra control here. Because right now you're just like kind of going in naked and blind. And you're not really thinking about setting up what you're going to be doing. Like you have one goal, which is to hit your opponent, but it doesn't go much deeper than that at all. Like you got to be thinking about like what options you're going to be trying to cover up. How else are you going to be assisting your approach, or if you're just going to try to cut off from him approaching you. So there's just a lot to think about there. Hello there, midbound. Like right there, yeah, you deserve that. like it's Pac-Man. He's just gonna sit back and wait for you. Like if like S-Smash hard reads are not something that you use in neutral, but you use it you use it as much as fair, and it's just you're gonna get hard punch for it every single time. Like just please, for the love of God, cut back on those F smashes. And even there, it's like you'd rather use down smash if anything, because like that would kill, and it's way safer to do. So I'll have to wait for it to go through. But yeah, you also have to play in mind, and you have to remember the water's going to be coming out of the hydrant. I believe it goes out 2 times. It's 2 or 3. I think it's 3. Okay. Oh, man. God, it's hard to judge the timing on this stuff. But yeah, I would say like out of all the zoner matchups, this is actually one of the harder ones to learn. So it's just kind of obtuse. But the main thing with this one is that you tend not to die nearly as early. I mean, if you're up close to him, then you'll be using it to pressure. So the main thing to remember is this. Like, your goal as Duck Hunt is not to be aggressive and to get up in their face. Like, we're not Sheik, we're not Wolf, we're not, like, Joker or anything like that. Like, you play Duck Hunt. You are specifically trying to control and like eliminate as many options that they have in neutral, and then just capitalize on that fact. You can safely poke with fair, but like you're doing it very, very spaced at the tips, and you're like fast following it with the 2, and like basically it becomes unpunishable. You're not doing it with the intent of rushing in and just throwing everything that you have at them. Like you're playing very safe, you're controlling different zones, and then you're getting your combos off of that. Like, the whole purpose of Duck Hunt is to play with safety, not to play with risk. Like, the safety is just the biggest thing that defines them. Like, when you play Duck Hunt and then you go to, like, a character like... even to, like, a character like Wolf, like, you'll just notice that you don't feel nearly as safe. Like, of course, when you're up close to them, you'll feel a lot safer than Duck Hunt because he's way harder to punish up close. But, like, in neutral, you have way less control over everything that's going on versus what you can do with Duck Hunt. Like, you know, you control the stage with Gunman, you control the air with Can. And then like you can even control their attacks with clay pigeon too. Like if you know they're going to land with an attack, a clay pigeon will just detonate on them and they can't do anything about that. And then that's what you focus on punishing. Like you can, the thing is like you get to control two characters at the same time with the cannon and the dog himself, and then you have an assist also with the gunman as well. So it's just like you're just able to control so much, and you focus on punishing the areas that you know that they have to be in. Because it's like if they get hit by the gunman, then you already know what's going to happen there. If they get hit by the can, you know what's going to happen there. So you focus on that last option, and then if everything lines up, you should be in a position where you can react to every single option they have and capitalize off of it, whether it's going to be off of an extra hit or if you just get another setup off of it. And that's what you do. And the other thing too is like our mobility data is actually pretty good too, so we're actually pretty good at playing evasive. Yeah, we're tiny. We're really hard to hit. Like with me, I definitely throw out like a bunch of like smash attacks when I play, but whenever I do it, it's because it's like based off of a read and it's like specifically on how they've been choosing to land a lot of the times. But a lot of your things aren't based off of that. Wait, this is game 3? Oh, that means you started on game 2 then. Wait. No, this has to be game 2, because otherwise that means we started game 3. Yeah. Just I don't know why the scores are like that. Yeah, see, like right there, you're not watching your opponent, so you literally just like doubled your damage that entire combo because you decided to just canicize yourself there. And Rising Fair is not something you really want to be doing. But yeah, it's just like I have no like you just look like you're lost. Like there, at least you're aware of Bell and you're playing around that. And like there, that just looked like you're doing panic buttons there. But at least you got your can off. So that way you didn't have to worry about like resetting it. Yeah, so you have to keep in mind that entire time, yeah, Bell's active. So you have to avoid that area. So when you have a moment like that, just do like roll and then just ping the can. So that way you can ping it and blow them up while you stay safe. Oh, that was a good catch. That was actually the other thing too. You weren't like trying to catch the fruit and use it against him. Because now like Pac-Man really has no way to approach you. So you can just like kind of throw out cans and gunmans. And if you were smart, you could have thrown Galaga up there and you could have actually clipped him with the end to kill him. Because like he would have tanked the hits because of the super armor. And you also, yeah, for the hydrant's coming right next to you, you can't just like throw your clay pigeon right there. But see, like this is kind of like the issue of just like relying on hard reads and punishes. 406. Okay, right here. This is also another summary of your gameplay. Okay, so you guys are full screen. Like basically, you just started at, let's say you just started at 0. And you decided to throw a clay pigeon here. Why? Like, what was the purpose of any of this? What does this get you when he's over here charging his fruit and he has all the ability in the world to like shield, jump, and charge it and like extend his advantage while you are just like left here and lag without really much of a setup to go off of? When you could have like done something like, you know, full hop can, have that approaching him so he's pressured by that. Then you could throw out another gunman, so then that way you can control a little bit more of the ground, cut off his options, and then you can follow behind that. And then that way he's just like a lot more cornered and isn't able to do as much. Pac-Man's not going to approach you. It's Pac-Man. But like, even if it wasn't Pac-Man, like I would have expected like a Bowser would probably jump, but you'd still probably chuck that clay pigeon at that point. It's just like, you really need to think about what your options are and why you're doing them. Like, then you decided to dash after it, and then gunman there, but you weren't watching that he was just right above you at that very moment. And then, yeah, you can't really be below Pac-Man because you can, as long as he's able to drop that hydrant, it's probably going to come out. So you always have to look out for that. And also, like, why would you do a gunman up there? That's not going to hit him. Because, like, if you throw out a gunman at the same height as them and it's in the air, the opponent's going to drop below them. Okay, there we go. See, like, you had a pretty good idea of a setup right there. Let's get to... That's too far. Okay. So explain to why do you like this little sequence is actually pretty smart. Okay, so you have can set up there, and then you jump over here, and then he doesn't really have too many options at this point. So all you have to do is wait for him to choose an option. More than likely he'd do an attack or something like that. So if he does a fair, then you can just jump back and back air him. Or if he does like a, if he does hydrant, then he'll come down again and he might do another attack, and then you can just like jump back and back air him as well. But like unfortunately you just weren't spacing around his attacks there. Like you decided to go in before you were able to. Yeah, I'm so happy to F smash there. That's the other thing too, because like F smash is a multi-hit move, it's so easy for him to just like tap it in the middle of your smash attack and then just demolish the hydrant on you too. That's a very common setup. They'll jump with right behind the hydrant and throw down apple to kill you. But that's more of just like niche Pac-Man stuff. See, that's why you always got to be careful when you're below him as well. That was actually a really good use of the power pellet. But you see, like there, because you decided not to set up can, it made it really easy for him to get back on ledge there. He tried to DI mix you up there. Now you gotta be careful about that. Okay. Then you got shield poked there. There's not too much you can do in that instance. Yeah, you gotta be watching out for hydrant in those instances. So I think he won. Was this best of 5? I'm assuming it's not. I'm assuming you're just out. Yeah, it looks like you're out. Okay. I pause this real quick so I can like think a little bit clearer. Okay, yeah, so he got you. So yeah, I mean, was that your first time you fought a competent Pac-Man? Because he was definitely a competent Pac-Man. He was pretty good. Because like, depending on if you fought a Pac-Man or not, well, or if you know what a Pac-Man does, will kind of determine like what I really say. Because like, there's a couple of things in here that you got hit by. It's like if you didn't know the matchup, that makes sense. But if you did at least know something about Pac-Man, then it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of things you need to work on. Not vodka. Okay. Yeah, so the big thing is knowing how he likes to play with his fruits. If you don't know how to do that, how he does that, the way that you interact with the hydrant can become very confusing. Obviously, do not focus on using multi-hits with the hydrant because like he can just tap in the middle of any multi-hits and then that thing's going to go flying towards you. So you need to make sure you do that. The other thing too is he will use the apple in a lot of situations. So if you're distracted by it, apple, bell, and key are the 3 that you have to look out for. I think with us, it's like around 140 apple will kill us for the most part. And it's actually pretty good at edge guarding us too, so you need to make sure you protect yourself with can with that. Then Key's just going to rip right through everything, so that's just the auto punish for it. So if you're doing multi-hits on the hydrant itself, most likely will key it. Yeah, most of the time Pac-Mans are just going to camp you out. Like they're not focused on interacting with you too much. So it's like there's a very interesting like push and pull situation once you sort of know how to interact with his hydrant and his fruits. That makes it a little bit trickier for him. Like if you have the lead and you have like his fruit, there's nothing Pac-Man can do to like take the lead back from you. Like it is rough for him when you get that. Because like without bonus fruit, he has no way to zone break you immediately, and it takes him like 9 years to break the hydrant. So like with that time, you're able to just like kind of fling over cans, and then if he starts hitting the hydrant, you can just have the can explode on it. So like after Pac-Man hits the hydrant once, can should blow it up. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, the other thing too is just like a lot of the aggression you have is just not really well thought out at all. Like you're not really thinking about where he wants to go. You're not aware of his options he has in disadvantage. Like Pac-Man's disadvantage is very good because like he's so floaty, it's hard to catch him. Then he also has Hydrant, so if you're below him, that's just going to catch you, but you can beat it out with a hitbox. Yeah, you can't give up against Pac-Man. Pac-Man's a battle of attrition. You need to stay strong. That's something we kind of abuse as Duck Hunt, but like Pac-Man's always going to be doing that. But you can also make Pac-Man hate his life as well, because like there's a lot of moments where he tries to do things, but just none of it works, because like he relies a lot on shield pressure, but he doesn't. If you're able to consistently avoid it, he's not pressuring your shield then. And since you don't have to approach him, that makes it hard for him to get like any strong, meaningful punishes on you. Like the one exception to the rule is T, because like T just goes in, but like he understands how to go in. So like that's what makes his Pac-Man so good. You weren't really able to edge guard him much because he was smart in recovering high, so you couldn't really do the ledge trap scenario, the edge guarding scenarios I was telling you about. But like you also need to be focused more on ledge trapping and just like using your projectiles more. Like honestly, you should focus on playing with nothing but can and gunman, and just like remove clay pigeon from your repertoire unless you're fighting a heavy, because like a heavy you're going to use it. And like just think about what you can do with those two moves to like really excel your neutral. And once you just start unlocking that for yourself, you're going to be playing a lot better. Like force yourself to hold back and like do not go in, and like try to make it that you don't. Also try to do it where you play without using a smash attack. Like just focus on killing them without using smash attacks, and you'll become a lot more consistent as well. Because like F smash doesn't really have too many uses except for comebacks. And then F smash has a couple of scenarios where you should use that, but just focus on trying to win without doing it. And I think you'll find yourself improve a lot by doing that, because like you won't feel the need to rush in as much. You'll hold yourself back a lot more, and you'll actually be thinking about using your normals a lot more, which is what you need to do with Duck Hunt. Like you should be killing with mostly just back air, up air, down air in certain situations, and F tilt as well. And once you get that down, you'll see yourself playing a lot safer and better. Okay, anything else before we move on to the next person? Let's see, who else do we got in the chat? Okay, Yagdrasil is still here. Don't see Native Potato, so we'll do Yagdrasil next. That's what we're here for. Yeah, I remember we used to call it Roast Central. Yeah, so let's get yours out of the way. Yes, these are the native potato ones. Here's yours. So like you only had one.